Hello everyone, thanks for tuning in to today's third and final video. We're going to be having a look at the weather for the next week to 10 days for today's third video. So day 10 is going to take us to around the 16th of May. We will be able to extend out beyond that. We say GFS and ECM ensembles. They run around a couple of weeks. Have a look at CFS V2 at the end of the video for the next 4 weeks. And I shall get on with that for you very shortly. Just say that the first video released today was our nice little 7 AM upload. So that's just having a look at the weather, you know, for the next 2 or 3 days in detail, and also release a European outlook as well. So check out those 2 videos if you would like to do that. Please like, share, subscribe, all of that good stuff on the video. Thank you so much, everybody. Right, so let's begin then. We're going to start off with this. So yesterday's video, just to speak about yesterday's video, sparked a lot of interest, you know, a lot of discussion, a lot of debate in the comments. Absolutely fantastic, you know, discussion about the possibility, it's not a forecast, but possibility that we may have entered into a long-term sort of declining temperature that might develop over the next sort of year or two within the otherwise sort of warming trend that we are currently in. You know, we examined the annual CET from the UK Met going all the way back to 1659, and we demonstrated that the CET does rise, level off, falls, rises, levels off, falls, relatively, you know, very relatively periodically and in a cyclical sort of nature. We have seen like a leveling off of the rise in the, or the last rise in the CET over the past year or so, and so the idea is that the very cold April that we've just experienced might be the start of like a decline in the temperature that could take place over the next year or two before the next sort of push-up takes place, if you see what I mean. So we're sort of bringing forward the possibility that 2021, maybe 2022 as well, could be rather colder compared to our more recent years, and so April, you know, might be the beginning of something a little bit colder over the next year or two. And there's a lot of discussion, a lot of interest in the video. I think it's over 2K views at the moment. If you have not yet seen it, it's a very, very interesting video, first 5 to 10 minutes. So do have a watch of it, share it where you can. You know, if you think anybody will be interested on your Facebook, social media, Twitter feeds and so on, then share videos far and wide as you can. Let them know about GavsWeatherVids. But I thought I'd sort of move it over to all of you today. So on our YouTube community page, we've got a poll running. So this is what we're saying. So yesterday's video sparked a lot of interesting discussion. Watch the video here if you haven't yet. Do you think 2021 and 2022 will be a measurable drop in annual CET, with April 2021 proving to be the start of a colder trend for a year or two? Or do you think April 2021 was just a one-off freak month that will stand out as being an unusual outlier in an otherwise ongoing very warm period? At the moment, that poll is running 78% think that yes, we will see a CET decline over 2021 and 2022, whereas 22% are saying no, we will not see a measurable CET decline over the next 2 years. So it's 8 days on that poll though, so you know, you can find on the community page on the YouTube channel. Vote however you think, and it'll be interesting how that comes out. But at the moment, it looks like the majority of GavsWeatherVids viewers are sort of thinking that 2021 and maybe 2022 as well could see a measurable drop in the CET. So we shall see how that plays out. We may have more about this over coming videos. Right, so another chilly day out there today. So these are the latest temperature observations from XC Weather. Our highest temperatures, if you can call them that, midday, or gone midday, on the 6th day of May, are just 11 degrees along the south coast. We've got Lyd Airport at 11 degrees. There's a few more. There's at Southampton at 11 degrees. And we've also got 11 degrees at Plymouth. I mean, that's pretty terrible for like a midday temperature on the south coast. You would expect temperature to be 5 or 6 degrees above that. Really moving northwards, it gets even worse to Western Aerodrome at just 6 degrees. Coles Hill is at just I can't find that now. So East Midlands at 10. We've got Birmingham at 6 degrees. Church Lord at 8 degrees. Westbourne at 8 degrees. So where was Coles Hill? I can't find. It's always away, isn't it? But going over to Eastern England, we've got Lakenheath at 4 degrees. Norwich is at just 5 degrees at midday on the 11th of May. Absolutely atrocious temperature. Senny Bridge at 9 degrees into Wales. Lake Burnley at 7 degrees. Real at just 8 degrees, moving north into northern England. Leeds is at 9 degrees. We've got Teesside at 9 degrees. It gets in colder, so Spadadam is at just 2 degrees at midday on the 6th of May. South Allen at 5 degrees. 1 degree, that's just 1 degree above freezing. So basically at freezing at Tremalbim on midday on the 6th of May 2021. Aviemore at 4 degrees, and into Northern Ireland, Belfast is at 9 degrees. It's been snowing across parts of Scotland this morning. I've seen reports and pictures of snow across Scotland. There's been a little bit of snow as well, parts of England as well. These are extraordinary developments, really, for so late in the year. So obviously the CT remains cold. Central temperature is at 7.2, an anomaly of 2.5 degrees below the 61 to 1990 average. That's provisional for the first 5 days of the month. Certainly the first week of May 2021 is going to be very, very cold indeed. However, we have got a push up in the temperature coming over the weekend. So these are the GFS upper air temperature and precipitation ensembles for the next couple of weeks. The red line being the 30-year upper air temperature average for Great Yarmouth today. Starting off extremely cold for the time of year at around -5 at 850 HPA, which is very unusual for May, to get that sort of level of cold upper air temperature. But look at this, the temperature is shooting up over the weekend. We're actually going to go up quite close to +10 at 850 HPA by Sunday. Haven't seen that for a very, very long time. So the temperature will be pushing up over the weekend. I think we potentially could reach like 20 degrees across parts of East England on Sunday afternoon. It will depend on how much sunshine there is. It is only like a brief sort of rise in the temperature, and then we're falling away again as we go through the course of next week, but not to the sort of cold level that we've got today. So I think this level of cold that we're in at the moment and have been since we ended April, I think that level of cold is probably coming to an end. And whilst we will see things cooling down after a warm-up over weekend, we will see things cooling down early next week. I don't think we will go back to the sort of level of really cold upper air temperatures that we have had and we are currently still having. So I think this run of very abnormally cold weather is probably coming to an end. But nevertheless, next week will probably still be a little bit cooler than average overall. Certainly nothing particularly exciting going on with the upper air temperatures. Around the middle to second half of May, though, looks like we might be sustaining slightly above average temperatures with the upper air temperatures then, although there is a lot of scatter. So, of course, we've still got these cooler ensemble members down here, but there's more of them that are going warmer. So this has been in the works for several days now, hasn't it, in the video? So we set middle to second half of May might start to see something potentially warmer, more sustained warmer, and possibly a bit drier and anticyclonic as well. Although precipitation-wise, it looks very unsettled for Great Yarmouth anyway, with lots of rainfall spikes from beginning to end. So there's absolutely no sign of anything drier appearing in the next couple of weeks. But it could be that the second half of May produces something a little bit warmer. And that is an idea that has been in the works for a little while. Temperature anomalies from the 6th to the 14th May going to be below average, not just the UK and Ireland, but through most parts of Europe as well. So another very, very chilly week coming up. Precipitation is also wetter than average from the 6th to the 14th of May. So cold and wet, or cool and wet, sums it up. Latest wind flow map from earthnullschool.net shows that we are still bringing down northerly winds. If we pull this down, you can see that the origins of this northerly is based in the Arctic. Look at this, see where the air is coming from. So So the air rejects from here around Svalbard, and down it comes into the UK and Ireland as well. So once again, this is proper Arctic origin stuff that we've got with our wind today, explaining why those temperatures are so very cold for the time of the year. But all changed by Sunday. It will still be unsettled and low pressure dominated, but look at this, wind direction is changing. We're cutting off that northerly, the northerly being shoved off over towards the North Atlantic and over towards Iceland, and instead around this low pressure we're pulling up the air from the southwest or the south. So obviously temperatures will be lifting up, except for the extreme north of Scotland. You probably remain in that cold northeasterly airstream, but through most areas temperatures will push up over the weekend. Could actually feel quite warm, especially as we've been so used to it being so cold. I think by Sunday, it could actually feel genuinely quite warm, quite a shock to the system actually across these areas, but it will involve rain as it's all being driven in by low pressure, so that's the other side. But although temperatures will push up, it will still be unsettled. And then into next week, so we push this trough through into the country. Obviously that sends the southwesterly over towards central and eastern parts of Europe, so we change wind direction again and pull the wind back in from more of a west-northwesterly direction, which will be cooler, as we explained. Next week we'll see the temperature cooling down quite quickly after a warm up over the weekend, but not to the level of very cold conditions that we've got at the moment and have had for several days. And still unsettled, still low pressure is driving in from off the Atlantic too. This is how the GFS midnight, or no, not how GFS 6Z is looking, I should say. The latest GFS run looks like this again. Drawing up wind from the south-southwest on Sunday should lift the temperature up through next week. The low pressure moves in over the country, so we cut off the southerly, lower the temperature, but not to the level of cold that we've got at the moment, and will still be unsettled with low pressure bringing further bouts of rain. And then heading to the middle of next week, and we get a major area of low pressure then developing around Germany and the Low Countries that might threaten some extremely wet weather into the east and southeast of the country through the middle part of next week. That will be one to watch if it comes off. That could bring in like thundery rain from the east, quite unusual. So that's one to watch. Turning drier in the north with this ridge of high pressure to the north of Scotland. So northern areas turn drier, and probably all areas will be a bit warmer as well as we're bringing in the wind from the east. They head up towards day 10, so we're looking a little bit mixed at day 10, not overly unsettled, but probably still a bit showery, and temperatures should be at least back to average, if not a little bit above. Into more extended range, just quite changeable really, low pressure not all that far away. That's how it looks as we end this GFS 6Z run. Bit of a messy picture really, but we've got high pressure sort of building, I think, across many parts of Europe. So the emphasis could be shifting here towards drier and warmer weather into the second half of May. But it's a rather bizarre looking chart on its own terms. But I think you might be starting to move towards drier and warmer weather into the second half of May on that GFS run. Right, GM looks like that. So again, drawing up those south-southwesterlies for Sunday, we'll see the temperature lifting up. Be a bit of a shock to the system after how cold it's been, and there will be further spells of rain as well. The low pressure then starts meandering in through the early part of next week, sends the southerly southwesterly over towards east parts of Europe, so temperatures lower, but don't go as cold as they have been, just cool and unsettled really through the middle and second half of next week, and then actually going more unsettled with the GM up towards day 10 with this area of low pressure down to the southwest. And notice never really getting rid of the northern blocking. Even at day 10, the GM still has a high pressure around Greenland and Iceland, so we never really get rid of the blocking area of high pressure, low pressure to our southwest. Will keep things quite unsettled. ECM looks like that, so again it's warmer on Sunday but with some spells of rain. Early next week very unsettled, showery conditions heading in from off the Atlantic. Temperatures probably lowering a little bit. Through the middle of next week again, low pressure moving in from the Atlantic. That could keep things quite unsettled too. And then up to the end of next week, we actually start to pull down a bit more of a northerly again with the ECM, but not as cold as it currently is. That's how it looked with the ECM as we get today. Temperature 16th of May, rather messy. We're trying to raise the heights, I think, generally across northern and western Europe. We're trying to turn things a little bit more settled and warmer, but the low pressure in the Atlantic could still start pushing through, keep things quite unsettled. This is the precipitation type forecast based on that ECM run from Meteo.com. So, of course, today we've got lots of showers in northern, central northern areas, and they are wintry as well, even to low levels across Scotland they have been. Tonight the showers will generally die out. Tomorrow more showers develop, primarily for northern northeast areas, a drier day for England and Wales. Then in comes the rain for Saturday. A lot of heavy rain piling in off the Atlantic on Saturday. But of course this is what's pulling in those warmer winds from the southwest. So the temperatures lift up over the weekend, but it is unsettled. There will be rain at times, but not for everyone. Some places on Sunday will get dry weather, like particularly for East Anglia, maybe parts of West Midlands, North Wales, if the sun is out between these showery rain bands. But I think it will feel quite warm, and it will be quite warm temperatures, probably going to around 20 degrees potentially on Sunday afternoon, which we have not had for a very long time. Then through into the open next week, you'll see that it's just very unsettled, really. Further showers, if not longer spells of rain, and temperatures probably close to average. That looks really showery there on the 13th of May. So I've got some torrential showers, maybe thunderstorms mixed in on that day. And again, 14th of May, more heavy showers and storms possible there. And then up to day 10, it looks like we're about to bring in another rain band from the Atlantic, doesn't it? These are the options on the table within the ECM ensembles today for day 10, which will get us to the 16th of May. 12 members of the ECM ensembles will have high pressure taking over. I haven't had that for a while. High pressure over to the northeast. I'm trying to bring in the wind from the east, so that should be relatively dry and warm. 11 with low pressure out to our west will be bringing in unsettled weather. Again, the wind is southwesterly with that, so it should be relatively mild or even quite warm perhaps, but will be unsettled. Another 11 just here have high pressure to the north of Scotland. Around that high pressure, we're bringing like an east-south breeze, so it should be mainly dry, potentially rather warm. 9 down here will have low pressure just to our west-southwest. We're staying with jet stream on a northwest-southeast line. We have got some higher pressure to the northeast as well. And then 8 will have low pressure over to the west of the country and in come westerly winds. So that one looks quite unsettled. Range of options there between low pressure and high pressure at day 10. In 2 weeks' time, these are the options that we've got, and still a bit of a split by the look of it with these. So this is for the 21st of May. 15 members of the ECM ensembles have high pressure well and truly in control to the north of Scotland and will be bringing in like a relatively warm and pleasant easterly wind. 14 have northern blocking, high pressure between Norway and Greenland, low pressure to our south. That's probably going to be bringing in easterly winds, which won't be particularly cold, but could be unsettled, especially for more southern areas. 13 placing low pressure more or less over top of the country. Obviously, that's going to be a very unsettled option. And then 9, again, going back to the mid-Atlantic ridge, going up to Greenland, trough low pressure over Scandinavia, and income northerly winds. So it remains very inconclusive about whether we're going to build in high pressure into the second half of May, and if we do, whether it will be a warm ridge or whether it will be sustained more than a couple of days. Then we go back to unsettled conditions. So lots and lots and lots of uncertainty, lots of questions to answer for the second half of May. Finally, with CFSV2, these are 500 millibar heights broken down into weekly periods. The first week period will take us from the 6th through to 12th of May. Coming week looks very unsettled with low pressure over northern and western Europe. Still blocking around Greenland, so still on the cool side of the jet stream. So not as cold as it has been, but nevertheless still quite unsettled. Week 2 is going to be the 13th to the 19th of May. Low pressure digging more towards the south there, and same jet stream on the northwest southeast alignment. Heights rising over Scandinavia. That could be starting, despite the northwest southeast alignment of the jet stream, that could be starting to bring up some warmer air from the southeast actually. Week 3 is going to be the 20th to the 26th of May with high pressure over Scandinavia, and so bringing in like a warmer southeasterly. And week 4 doesn't look too bad either. This is going to be the 27th of May to the 2nd of June. High pressure then just over to the east of the country and probably drawing in like a southerly southeasterly. So the CFS definitely wants to settle things down and warm things up still into the second half of May. We shall see how that works out. Right, if you enjoyed this video and all of today's videos, please can you give us a like, smash the like button, make sure you subscribe to our channel. You'll be able to see future weather content. If you do that, tell friends, family, everybody else to subscribe to our channel. Thank you so much for doing this for GavsWeatherVids, and drop a comment. Let us know what you think. Don't forget to vote in the poll as well, whether you think we're going to see like a long-term decline over a year or two of temperatures or not. So do you think April is just like a one-off outlier month, or do you think it's a start of something you know, quite significant for the next year or two? Let me know in the comments what you think, please. And well, you can let me know in the comments what you think, please, but also vote in the poll. And yeah, that's absolutely great. Thanks so much, everybody, for doing that. Right, we're done with today's videos. Tomorrow we're going to have GMA Friday, have a 10 to 14 day as well, 7 AM upload. So lots coming up on the channel tomorrow. Do keep checking back for more. But for today's vids, that's all for now. And thanks so much for watching. Enjoy the rest of your Thursday.